What's up, guys? Welcome back to Average Moto Jo. I'm Dylan, your Average Moto Jo, and today we are hitting our first race in 6 years. That's right, people. Have not raced in 6 years, and we're back at the home track, Boomtown MX, today for the Boomtown Triple Crown. We got 2 motos today, 1 moto tomorrow. I gotta get on the gas here so I don't get stuck in the sand. Stay tuned, people. I'm really excited, and I'm really happy to have a race day where I can just focus on technique and having a good time, and I think this is going to be the best race of my life. So stay tuned, folks. We'll get you some GoPro action and some action from the sidelines. Catch you guys on the track. All right, gearing up for practice. I think we got 10 minutes, so let's make the most of it. I don't have any tear off, so that's going to be fun, but I think we'll be alright. Just got to stay in front of everybody, right? Alright, let's head to the gate. Fuck. Yeah. Where's fucking beef? Fuck me.
sweetie.
Alright, just got done with our first moto. Local race, 450B. Let's just say I should have raced 450C. It was pretty brutal. They dropped the A class. We raced with the A class, and I only got part of the race on GoPro because I forgot to click the camera on. But they dropped A class first. I thought they were going to do another 30-second board. They didn't. So I didn't get a great jump out of the gate, but I beat some guys to the corner, and I came out not too bad off the gate. But about the third corner, I went off the track, ended up in last, and then I was just hanging on to the two guys in front of me. And after like 2 laps, I just had nothing left. I was just trying to hold on to the bike. It was a pretty rough race, but I know where we're at. That's why, you know what it is. For your average Moto Joe, we're not a superstar. And this channel is all about documenting the journey from your average C-class rider to the competitive B-class rider, and that's what we're going for. And this race is all just about getting a baseline. So it's good to get the first one out of the way. I really think I just tried too hard to go fast. I was muscling the bike. I was super tight, and I didn't really focus on technique at all. It's definitely a skill you have to build to be able to just stay calm in a race and just ride your own race. Don't worry about where you're at. So that's what we're going to try to do on the next one. I know I have a little more pace. I've got a lot more pace than I just rode with. I don't have the endurance, even though I've been riding a lot. I've been trying to do 10-lap motos and stuff, but I don't know. I'm getting pretty pumped up out there, but let's see. Now that we know how the gate's going to drop on the next one, we got 2 more races, and it really doesn't matter where we place. This is just about finding out where we're at, and we are just your average Moto Joe, and that's all right. I think the important thing is go out there and beat yourself up. Especially in my situation where I haven't raced in 6 years. It's my first race in 6 years. Somebody convinced me to race 450B. I should have raced 450C, but that's all right. I mean, we're not gonna like just quit the race or anything. We're gonna finish even if we finish dead last. But got a lot of work to do. If we're gonna be qualifying for Loretta's in 450C or 250C, then we need to be pretty much winning that class to be in that kind of a position. So at least we know where we're at now, and let it go and just ride on this next one. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna ride, and I'm gonna focus more on technique and yeah, just squeeze the bike with my knees and look ahead. That's what needs to happen, and fuck all the other shit. Like, it really doesn't matter. But that was my first race in 6 years, so it is what it is. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. What's going on, guys? Here we are, race day 2. So yesterday they ended up running pretty behind schedule, so we only did 1 moto yesterday, and we got to do 2 motos today, which is cool. First moto yesterday, I mean, it was my first race back in 6 years, so I was a little disappointed, but then I took some time to reflect and check in, and we're all good. I just need to remember, like, I get the awesome opportunity with this channel and just with my riding, which is the whole reason I created this channel, to just start from the ground up. I haven't raced in 6 years. I got my first moto out of the way yesterday. It was rough, but I was trying to go fast. I was looking down. There was a lot of stuff that I wasn't focusing on technique-wise, and I got to remember that speed comes from accuracy, right? So today, we just got back from practice, got 2 laps of practice, felt a lot better, still getting really pumped up. I mean, those last 3 laps of my race yesterday, I could barely hold on to the bike. So today I'm just going to focus on looking forward and gripping with my knees. And where we're at is where we're at. That's all we're trying to do this weekend, is get a feel for where we're at. and know where we can go from here. So we're gonna keep riding. We're not gonna get discouraged, and we're just gonna have a good time.
Just finished up the third moto. Got that one on GoPro at least. It was bad. Not as bad. Okay. That's good. Alright. That does it for my first race in 6 years. The Boomtown Triple Crown. It was fun. It was tough. It's really tough. Sand tracks are hard. Man, I was getting to where I had decent endurance out here, but it's just a different game when you're racing. It's just, you pump up so much worse, and I had 3 good laps in me where I was hanging with the guys in 450B, and then I would just lose the pace, just lost the endurance. But I think every race my technique got better,
as far as focusing, it's more like when you go to race, I feel like your technique is that it is what it is, but what you need to work on there is then focusing on your technique. So I think my focus on the technique got better as each race went on. The second race I felt super calm, felt really good. I think it was going to be a really good race, but I absolutely just went ass over tea kettle in the rollers. It was pretty bad, pretty gnarly crash. Wrist is hurting pretty good. Ripped one of my fingernails off, and got some bloody moto gloves. But yeah, so race 1, super tired. Had a good lap though. That first lap was really good, and then just lost the toe. Race 2, DNF'd because I wrecked really hard in the rollers, and my forks were more bent than I have ever bent my forks in my life. It was crazy. So I have to straighten those back out. Race 3, we finished. We focused on technique, and I did better race 3. I think I got progressively better, even though I wrecked race 2. That first half a lap before I crashed was the best I've ever ridden my dirt bike. It was insane. So that's kind of the update there, but I mean, like, big takeaways for this one. I think it's really cool that I get to, I mean, I grew up racing since I was 4 years old. I think was my first race, or 5 years old was my first race. Been riding since I was 4, so that's 20 years now. And I had 6 years where I maybe rode a couple times a year, didn't race for 6 years, and this was my first gate drop. So, but just the growth on the mental side of things and spiritual side of things, and just the way that I treat myself and the way that I talk to myself has just gotten so much better that I can take good things away from this race, and I don't really care that I got smoked. I mean, that's not even what this was for. This was to come out and figure out where I'm at, which we did. We figured out, I mean, I've got the pace to hang with some fast guys. I don't have the endurance right now, and I need to spend more time working on technique so that becomes automatic, so that when I get to the race, I don't walk up and look down right in front of me. But I think, yeah, the biggest takeaways here are just like remembering what we're doing here. We're basically just starting over almost and building myself from the ground up. And I think what I needed to do was remember to focus on technique, looking forward, breathing, all the little things, and just let the speed come naturally. Because when you try to go fast, your technique either goes out the window, you get pumped up, you lose endurance, or you crash. I did both of those things today. The third moto was my best moto. All I was worried about was focusing on technique that moto. And I think I got that full one on GoPro. I was not going fast through the rollers. Not after I crashed. I'll get them back. I'm going to come out on Tuesday and work on the rollers specifically, just so that doesn't become like a thing that makes me nervous or anything. But we just need to spend some more time on those. But overall, the most important thing is it doesn't matter. We're not out here doing this to be the best. And when that was the goal, when I was trying to come out here and be the best and always pushing myself, I learned to hate it. I didn't like riding anymore. So I think my message to you guys for this whole channel, and one thing that is going to kind of be a cornerstone of this whole channel as we move forward, is that motocross is about so much more than just going fast on a dirt bike and winning races. We are building life skills. We're building a mindset, really, that will carry you through anything that you do. So the mindset is get a little bit better every time you go out on the track. And if you do that, if that's your mindset, that's what you're focused on, then you're going to get a little bit better every time. If you're trying to go out there and you're beating yourself up and saying, oh, I suck because I'm not Ricky Carmichael, then it's not fun anyways. So, and there's so much you can learn. Don't give up. Focus on the technique. Focus on the process. That was the biggest message of today. So that's my biggest message for you guys, and that's the message that we're going to keep on reiterating throughout this whole process, from your average C rider, which today I was absolutely your average C rider, and this is kind of the starting point of this journey. We're going from your average C rider, and eventually I'm qualifying for Loretta's in C class. I don't care if it takes me a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I really don't care. I've got at least a good 10 years of competitive riding in me before I start getting old, and then I'll just race vet class, right? So we're focused on the process, focused on having a positive mindset, and don't love yourself any less. Don't let your own love for yourself, and if you're a parent with a kid out there racing, don't let your kid think they need to win love. Focus on the positives and focus on the process, and that's where you're going to develop the most life skills. That's where you're going to develop the most bike skill. That's how you're going to get better safely. So thanks for watching the first ever race vlog. I'll work on getting better on the filming as well, but if you guys want to see the process of going from your average Moto Joe to a competitive B-class rider, that is the goal here, and that's what we're going to keep working towards, and this is just the beginning. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys at the next one.